fact, that was.
No more room in hell. The dead walk here.
What's up, everyone? We are live. Welcome, my horror fiend friends. And in this live stream, we're going to be talking about bodies. Well, first, I got to introduce my panel here. I'm going to start with our co-host here, Radar. How are you doing today?
How goes it, Joe? I'm doing fine. A little too hot, but that's all right.
Okay. It's hot everywhere. Everybody in Florida, man, it's hot in this room. I get it right now. JR, how you doing, JR?
It's real hot. Hey, we get to talk about a topic that you love so dearly.
You know that. Now, we are a man down. Rick is not here due to technical difficulties, but we will carry on. So what we are going to be discussing, the summer's here. Everybody's getting their bodies ready for the beach, for the pools. That's not the kind of bodies we're going to be talking about at all. We are going to be discussing body horror. And if you don't know what body horror is, well, you're going to know by the end of this. So we're going to first start off, what body horror is to us, and I'll kick this one off. I mean, it could be different for everyone. Body horror could be really gruesome. In my movie that I'll discuss, it could be beautiful. And as a fan of horror, I just love things that happen to the body. I mean, that just makes you cringe. As everybody knows, I got a couple of them. But that's what body horror is for me. It's the terrible things that just happen to the human body that I sit there and watch and enjoy to watch. Radar, what's body horror to you?
Body horror to me is just like, and I feel like it always has to be this for me, is when something horrifying happens to a person's body that's not like, oh, the typical slasher, or they got chopped up into bits. Like something is mutating, they're transforming, something unnatural is happening, but it's not necessarily like killing them in the process. It can definitely kill them in the process, but more so than not, the transformation is the important part for me.
Yeah, definitely. JR?
Well, I'll be honest, body horror isn't like one of my prominent horror subgenres to watch, but I'll watch it. No, I'll watch it because it's always different from what I'm used to, focusing on. So the fact that, like for me, body horror is things that happen within that are the real horror of the movie. As far as transforming the flesh, I mean, one of my biggest things is your fingernails falling off or some of the teeth. I mean, I see those two things. I'm like, that's just now for me. That's more body horror when it makes you squirmish, where you actually touch the part of your body where you see. I mean, something with teeth coming out it just kills me, and something where like I mean, I'll mention one real quick, even though it's none that we're going to talk about, but I think it was Return of the Dead 3, where the girl was basically mutilating her body because she had to. It helped her focus on the pain of transforming into the zombie. Do you remember that girl in that one? You guys never watched it? Yeah, so basically, like for me, that is body horror to the extreme. Even though it was a zombie, but the fact that she mutilated her own body for a reason, even though some of these body horror films don't have reasons for us, but it's just. Yeah. For me, it's fucking body horror.
Well, and it's funny because you brought up something, Radar, because it's about changing, and the person doesn't necessarily have to die. JR is going to discuss on one that even I touched on. I mean, in body horror, you actually don't have to see the person die in the end of the movie. I guess the true horror in that is that the transformation happens, and this person is now stuck.
Right. That's the most terrifying thing is that you wake up and you like can't do something. I think like the best, it's not a body horror short story kind of take it off topic, but like I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream ends with the main character getting like transformed into this like amorphous blob that's in constant pain. And the last line is I have no mouth and I must scream. And that's the most horrifying thing I've ever like read. It's just that like my body's mutated. I'm in terrible pain and I can't even say I am.
I actually would not want to go through that. And dude, the light in your room got bright and dark.
Yeah,
Like, do you have a spirit in there? Should we be worried? It better not be like host. Something's not going to pop up in the middle of this live stream and get you, right?
No.
But yeah, I mean, because again, like JR said, I mean, body horror is not for everyone. I mean, if you're a squeamish person, you're gonna turn away. Me myself, I mean, the more squeamish you're gonna make me, the more I'm just gonna keep looking. Like I would want to turn away, but I'm just going to just keep looking at it. Yeah. So well, we'll get into some of our movies, and since we're one man down, I'm gonna have to put a little surprise towards the end here. But we're all gonna, guys, we're gonna be discussing. Each of us got 2 movies we're gonna bring up. If you've seen these movies, anything you want to comment on it. Hell, if there's a movie you guys have seen and you want to throw into the comments, hey Angel. But if you want to throw into the comments, let us know. Man,
that's just Georgia. What are you talking
about? It is Georgia. Thank you. I'm gonna miss it. This is all for something for next month. So, but yeah. So we're going to go around. We're gonna discuss movies that are not necessarily our top 2. It's just what we chose because I couldn't come down. I tried to come up with a list and I couldn't do it. So I mean, even though I think I know what number 1 would be. But so I'm Radar. I'm going to go with you first. What is your first movie of body horror that you're throwing into this topic?
Right. So I wanted to mix it up a bit. I love body horror. It's my favorite subgenre. But I mean, David Cronenberg's the king of body horror. So I wanted to mix it up. And none of my 2 are going to be David Cronenberg films. Just to keep it real. So the first one, I know. The first one is probably one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and that's Hellraiser. And it crosses a lot of different subgenres, but it definitely can be considered a body horror.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Like just the scene where Uncle Frank materializes back from hell through the floorboards and stuff. That's some freaky shit going on with his body. And just that alone. But the Cenobites, they're like all that weird stuff with their body, the chains going into people's skin and keeping them alive with it. Ooh, perfect.
I gotta say that was that when I first saw that, the Hellraiser, and the minute those chains came out, hooked to the skin, I'm like, oh no. And then you see it cool, and you're like, I mean, you're literally doing this the whole time.
You're sitting
watching it. It was the most uncomfortable first time I ever second time I watched it, no problem. The first time, I'm like, oh my god, you literally feel it. And I think that was at the time a little bit afterwards where you had the people doing the hanging themselves from the freaking ceilings with the hooks.
Oh yeah, with the hooks.
Yeah.
Oh man,
not something I would do at all. But
hold up,
Ricky. I got you, bro. But with Hellraiser, I mean, Hellraiser showed.
You got me, bro. You got
me. Hey! Well, everyone,
we all cheer.
Here he is. Ricky has joined us.
Full disclosure, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I might go any moment now. I just wanted to say what up.
Well, we're worried about Radar anyway, so if you disappear, it'll actually catch you. It caught you actually instead of.
Well, I have OCD, man. Hold on, I can't be over there. There we go. There we go. This is my boy Radar right there.
Well,
carry on. I apologize.
Well, we're talking Hellraiser, but Hellraiser, the transformations that all the Cenobites went through, and I mean, you only got to see a few of them throughout the series. But that's like full blown. I mean, that besides sadomasochism, can't ever say that. Sadomasochism.
Masochism.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, and
you're both wrong, but all right.
Well, what is it? How do you say it? How do you say it?
Masochism.
Thank you.
Sadomasochism. Yes.
You know, the writer should have chimed in there when the 2 non-writers were trying to figure out the word. I just got to say.
No, you guys got it.
Listen, man, we don't mind being corrected. You know?
Oh, not at all. I mean, I get corrected all
By
the
the way,
time.
guys, I got this new Samuel Adams because they didn't have anything. It's cherry wheat. It legitimately tastes like cherries.
Oh, that's my. But yeah, so like that movie actually, is that what, 87?
87.
So 87. So you
Can't do it.
So you showed like
Valid.
the audience, people got to see all these Cenobites and just the horrors that they looked. And was it the second one where the what do you have to do? Eat somebody or like to get their skin?
The first one they eat people, yeah, because Frank like eats a bunch of people to regenerate, which is creepy in itself.
Yeah, because he's like, you know, he's got to eat people to get his body back, because right now he's just muscle and, you know, like all tendons and shit.
Tendons, and he looks all slimy. I love that though. Slimy motherfucker.
And he's always cranky. He's cranky all the time.
Do you blame him?
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, you ain't got no skin, so yeah, that's very true.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, JR, what is your movie you're throwing in here to discuss?
All right, I'm going to talk about one. I might as well throw this one out because I figured we're going to talk about this one quite a lot. Come on. Justin Long and Tusk.
Whenever I think of Tusk now, I hear, what was the old man's name again?
I do too. Junior, come on, dude. What
I hear it in Gio's voice.
You are my Mr. Tusk.
Yes. I did the same thing when I was cleaning up, and I'm like, Junior's gonna do Tusk, and I heard his voice and I'm like, I'm taking it out of my head now.
No, I mean, so that movie freaked me the hell out because it's one of those things where, I mean, once again, Justin Long gets himself in a situation that he just doesn't help himself. I mean, you figure after a while, you just, all right, I'm not going to get in a car. I'm not traveling nowhere. I'm just going to stay stuck at home. But for some reason, he gets himself in these situations. But I think that is one of the most scary things, the fact that you go to a stranger's house and you're going there to basically, because he was a struggling podcaster, so he's trying to get back on track. But the fact that you go somewhere and the minute you wake up,
your voice went up.
What is happening? Why is there music going on?
Oh,
because Rick put our music on. We normally have a little low music.
It's a live stream. We got that. Is it too loud?
No. I was trying to signal to you. I was trying to signal to you. You're good.
If you're in the chat and this music is really obnoxiously loud, let us know because we can't tell for some reason.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, look, Joe shows up.
Called out. There's about to be some real body horror when Tasha finds Joe.
True. Didn't we do one? We did one where I said I made it up. I think that I was out of town for one. Oh, no, or I think there was a
we did clowns. We did clowns with her. Mm-hmm. That was her. That was Tasha. Yeah, it was Tasha.
Yes.
And
you were on vacation. You were falling down the stairs on a cruise.
That's right.
My man with the fly shirt. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Gotta represent.
But go ahead, Gina. Go ahead with the Tusk.
Yeah. So I think the fact that the minute you wake up and your legs are gone, I mean, you know you're in a messed up situation.
Well, they weren't gone. They weren't gone. He sewed them together.
Well, yeah, but remember, from the knee down, they were gone at first. Yeah. It was a process of eventually getting him to that point. And then sit there and he's freaking out. And the guy goes, he's trying to talk to him about the wars the whole time. He's like, well, you're not going to go nowhere. So, I mean, he was calm, cool, collected the whole time. I'm sorry. That for me is the fact that body horror to the extreme. I mean, to the extreme in that one. But yeah, Tusk, goddamn. I just can't get over the ending.
I felt so bad for Justin Long's character. He was a dick. Let's be honest.
All right,
but nobody deserves that.
No, first of all, let's just start that he took a number out of the men's bathroom. So bad choice from the
red
get-go.
Flag number one,
right there. Red flag. Like really? I mean, you're in the front of the urinal and you're looking up at a bulletin board. You could take some guy's number. Really? I mean, so that was his choice. And
cool.
Well, and that was one because like I always say to them, recommend some movies to me. And Junior told me Tusk. That one I did for the movies that fucked me up and broke that one down on all the mistakes that he did all along the way.
An A24 film at that, which is crazy.
Yeah, it was A24. Yeah.
But you know what's more messed up? The fact that, not for nothing, I hope that never happens to me, knock on wood, but that happened to me And y'all fuckers let me live and put me in a fucking zoo?
I said this, that's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
That's what fucked
Yeah.
you up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, come
literally-
on. You guys are not my friends, man. That is so. And then you feed me a freaking fish. That makes it worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they should have old Yellered his ass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So even though I love you too,
Let me
Natasha.
catch up to this real quick. You don't need to. Tusk was so freaking crazy. LOL. It took me a while to figure out what I watched.
It is a little bit. Yeah, that one you should not drink and watch that one. It's a little bit. You're like, what?
But what makes that movie worse is when you're watching it. After he first loses his like legs from the knee down, you still keep watching it. You know, at that point, this thing's gonna get but I'm just saying, the average person, like, oh, this is gonna get totally messed up. And then
Meanwhile,
you sit
I'm
there and just keep
looking
going.
I watched it going, all right, let's see where we're gonna go here.
And like,
Bring it
I would
on.
rather like wake up at someone's house and then go like, yeah, I'm gonna eat you. Like, because at least you're gonna kill me.
That's very
But what
true.
this old man does is so much fucking worse.
Oh yeah.
So much worse. Like, I'm fine with ending up in a chili, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe I can give them indigestion on the way out, but not when I'm a fucking walrus.
And then they
Yeah,
have that fight. Sorry, keep going, but that movie just so fucked up.
You're good. But I mean, like I said, that like I when I watched that, it was like, what the flip? And I said it. And
Joe.
just to clear what?
Hold on. All right. You the boss. I forgot, brother. My bad.
I told you, JR. I
Well, it
told
was
you,
only
JR.
three, so you have to.
All right. But just to clear something up, because when I did the video, it's something like I said, something Tusk was Kevin Smith's return to making good movies. All his movies, he's done some great movies, but he hit a little lull there. Tusk was, for me, his return back to making some really good, thought-provoking and fucked up movies.
Oh yeah.
But as you guys said, like, for all the movies that I discuss on my series, what fucked me up about that one is that the girlfriend and friend let him live and took him to a zoo. And like you said, if you throw, you know what? When after I thought about it, I'm like, I would have like been like, come here, like call him over, like, and then fucking toss the shit out of them. Because like, well, I can't do it with a shotgun. I got flippers going here, so I have to use my tusk.
All right, not to throw a little comment, not to throw a little comment into it, but not for nothing. Put yourself in the situation of the girlfriend. If you walked in and see him turn like that, I apologize. I won't come on being an a-hole on this. I'm just walking back out because I'm done.
No, there's nothing wrong. I mean, I guess
I'm like,
that,
look, it's not gonna work out between us, so just
that's your fight or flight kicking in, and you chose flight. It's all right.
just run like
You
crazy.
know what doesn't get brought up? How fucked up is that zoo? Because
Bro, they
like
allow
that's
that
not
shit?
a walrus.
Thank
That is
you.
not a regular ass walrus.
Thank you. They had to do tests on it and be able to determine some of this stuff. And I still, like I said, there was nobody in Canada that can reverse the surgery. I mean, literally.
How can you reverse that surgery, though?
Yeah,
You
that's
can't
all.
reverse
It's
that.
gotta be well. Then euthanize the motherfucker.
Yes,
I mean, at this
that
point,
I agree
just
with.
put him out. All right, Rick, your turn, my brother.
Before we go to there, gonna cook you alive though makes meat more tender.
Oh
Wow.
shit! All right.
Wow.
Dang,
That's good.
that is
It's coming out.
But you're gonna taste the
FBI.
fear.
Got someone you want.
But you're gonna taste the fear though. That's
Oh,
the
God.
problem.
What's your question, John? I'm sorry.
What's your movie for your first movie?
Bro, all right, just like Radar said, I'm gonna go off the beat here for this one.
Nice.
I I played this with my girlfriend yesterday. She fucking fell asleep, but it's alright. I didn't expect her to sit through the fucking stuff.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
the stuff.
Stuff, yo. What
a
can
good
we
one.
say? 1985, Larry Cohen, writer director, man. Ah, man, this fucking film, I rewatched it again yesterday, and it's such 80s cheese, ridiculous premise, over the top acting. What's not to like? The fact that they find some fucking random yogurt coming out of the earth, and that motherfucker tastes it right off the jump. He tastes it. Oh, this is great. What they do, of course, it's America. They gotta make money off it. They gotta, market it, send it over to everyone in the entire fucking world. And the funny shit is everyone gets addicted to this shit because it's fucking. Look, I'm not gonna lie, it did look fucking good. It's like it reminded me of that.
What's that? Eating fluff.
Fluff, yeah. That's
that movie. I literally for a while stopped eating fluff because of that movie.
But it's great, man. I mean, that lead actor Michael Moriarty, man,
dude,
he was in Masters of Horror. Pick Me Up. I mean, this guy, he always hams it up for one thing.
And what's the one with the babies? They Live?
For what?
Michael Moore, there was a horror movie involving babies. Or they live or they're alive.
It's alive.
It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. That's another good one with Michael Moriarty.
And that's like Garrett Morris, come on, chocolate chip. What's his name? Chocolate Charlie. Yeah. I know Radar knows. When I mentioned body horror, I want to get to this in specifically. That when the fucking guy, his mouth just fucking opens and he just keeps opening. He's like, and holy shit, bro. Like, all right, I didn't get to this part earlier because I came a little late. I don't know if you guys discussed it, but the reason why I like body horror is because did you guys get into that, by the way?
Yeah,
like,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so 80s horror to me, what I like about not 80s horror, I'm sorry, body horror, is the fact that it's the unknown. It's the fear of the unknown. Our bodies are our temples, obviously. When we get sick and it's out of our control, what's living inside of us trying to break out and destroy us is it's scary. You can mention like your disfigurements, your skin gets burnt to a crisp, amputations, you name it. Anything that goes against your body out of your own control and you lose a part of yourself, that's fucking scary. And when horror films take that, I don't want to say glamorize it, but they fantasize it. And the fact that they use most of it from the time 80s practical effects, no CGI, everything from The Incredible Melting Man. Obviously, we're going to talk about other films later. I don't want to jump on anyone's toes here, but you guys mentioned Hellraiser already. Who went first? I missed it. I'm sorry.
So far, Hellraiser and Tusk.
There you go. So again, Tusk. Look at the premise of Tusk. Look how scary that is, and that's all an element of body horror. So I wanted to touch on that before I continued on to that. But yeah, I mean the stuff, man. Gio, you seen the stuff?
Yeah,
he saw it.
So long. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He saw it with me.
And if you see it, it's so fucking ridiculous. But that's what I love about it. Like the fact that somebody had to. Oh, let's make this movie about some alien concoction that we find in the earth, and we consume it. We consume this shit without even testing it. You know what I'm saying? Fucking ridiculous. But yeah, man, I want to show some love for that movie because a lot of that shit's pretty fucking gross in there. But people got this weird notion that body horror is just Cronenberg, Videodrome, or even worse, schlock like street trash. You know what I'm saying? It's body horror. It goes. John Carpenter dabbled in it. Kevin Smith dabbled in it. We just talked about that, and even we just did the what's that? Rosetta, the Bone Woman again. A
body
type
horror.
Of body horror. Even to this day, is being done, and the fact that a lot of practical is used in it, and in newer cases, CGI is mixed in there, but done well. So that's going to be my little 2 cents on that.
Well put.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
My first one.
Before I get booted up, I wanted to get that out. I'm sorry.
Go look up the stuff. It's great.
Oh yeah, definitely check it out. Yeah, definitely check that movie. Again, you should check all those old '80s movies out. I mean, it's the best movies.
Before you go, Joe, hold on. I want to get caught up here. I don't want to miss nobody. All right, we did that one. Adam, I made the mistake of coming out of the bedroom and seeing the final Tusk product and said, Juan, what are you watching? Let's be real, Adam. You said, what are you fucking watching?
I know. What the fuck are you watching? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, cool. Yeah. If you talk about remember, it's 80s cheese. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah. So don't expect, this ain't a masterpiece. It's schlock, but it's fun, man. It's fun. All right, let's go.
So, I mean, obviously, I feel like shots fired because there's going to be a David Cronenberg because, that's my
No, it's fine.
My first one is a Clive Barker.
Ooh, another
Mine is Nightbreed.
That's fair.
Nightbreed is full-on body horror. There are all types of just physical transformation, like just shit throughout this movie. Now, some people may not classify it as a horror. This is horror. I mean, you know, you have, I mean, no, there's a couple places where like, well, that's not really, you know. It's
what would they classify this as then?
Because it was sci-fi mutant. You know,
fantasy maybe.
Sci-fi and horror to me could go hand in hand. I get it.
But I mean, when I said earlier that body horror can be both, you know, like gross and beautiful, this movie had that. I mean, Shuna Sasi. I mean, I would not touch her. But, you know, Shuna Sasi, and I didn't write down the name of the one that can turn into a cloud, the mother of Babette. Yeah. But, you know, you had Peliquin, the snake guy, Narcisse, the one who tears all his skin off, you know, and then the weird part, because some of them got turned to become part of there, but he, like, ripped his skin off and just got brought in. You got Kinski, the Moonhead, and then Moonhead. Boone, you know, in his final transformation as Cabal. Watched this movie again just recently. It's probably been 10 years, and
it's been that long for me. I got
dude, like watch it again.
Watch the director's cut.
Fucking love the movie.
Would you watch it? If you don't mind me asking.
It's on Peacock.
Wow.
Okay, director's cuts on Tubi. I chose no commercials.
I'd rather watch the Peacock. I'm sorry.
So Rick, you and I watched the Peacock one. Yeah. But
Matt Pups at Tubi though. Tubi's great, but commercials ain't
commercials.
It's nothing against the app itself. It's great, awesome collection. But I can't do with commercials.
But you know, fun fact: David Cronenberg is in Nightbreed, and he
plays
his
name again?
Dr. Decker, Dr. Philip Decker. And he plays a serial killer. He shows that, you know, as a horror writer, director, that motherfucker can be fucking scary his own damn self, to be honest with you. He played a great serial killer. But most of all, because when I kind of saw this movie, this is when I was collecting comics also. So before I even say who it reminded me of, Junior's looking down, look up for a second, JR. What does the Nightbreed people remind you of in comic books?
Oh, they remind me of wait, the Morlocks.
There you go.
From X-Men.
And that's why I loved Nightbreed. Nightbreed was basically what the Morlocks, because I like the Morlocks also, and I know my shit on that one. Callisto was the leader, Storm beat her, and eventually took over. So yes, so it was like watching the Morlocks being badass on the screen. But, you know, when the girlfriend's walking down as she's through all the, you know, watching all the rooms, it just gets grosser and there's like one guy that's basically just a face on a lump of, it doesn't even have arms. It's just this gross thing. So that for me was one of them up there as far as body horrors.
You forgot the coolest of the Nightbreed.
Which one?
The Berserkers. Come on,
who didn't like the Berserkers? Wait, hold on. I was gonna turn it to you guys and see your thoughts on Junior since you jumped in.
Hold on, this is for you guys. So Nightbreed.
Awesome fucking movie, guys. Again, it's on Peacock. Check it out. You're gonna love it. Craig Sheffer, as I said, David Cronenberg. If you're a X-Men mutant fan, it's just like watching an R-rated version of like the Morlocks kicking ass. But JR, go ahead, talk about the Berserkers. You know, I want to hear what you guys thought about Nightbreed.
If you want to go even a little further, you could say it was Morlocks being hunted down by Cameron Hodge.
Mm-hmm. Literally was.
This guy pulled out Cameron Hodge out of his ass.
No, but
you know what? What year was the Morlocks created? What were you guys saying?
The 80s though, because it was part of the
the 80s. Claremont. That was Claremont run.
Yeah, that was Claremont.
It was the 80s.
Okay. It was around. Yeah, they were about the same time.
I wouldn't be
surprised.
surprised.
They were introduced more with the Fall of Mutants.
Wouldn't be surprised if Barker was somewhat influenced by it, because
there
was a lot of Radar's part. Like, what the fuck are these guys talking about?
I have no idea.
Fucking
nerds.
And proud of it.
Joe, what you were saying though is what you notice about where they lived at is the lower they went in levels, the more deformed the people got.
Yep.
And when they finally got into the lower level,
look at his hand. Look,
there was body transformation.
He went down.
But remember when it was not when they got to the area with the berserkers. Now the berserkers and Nightbreed were the ones that were so deformed and so unstable that they had to keep them locked up. And there's even one scene where you had that little bat thing that came flying at somebody and landed on their face and started biting them. But I mean, that was cool about Nightbreed because you had the ones that looked normal, the ones that could get away with walking in the world, and the lower you got, you felt bad because now you have a layer of these people who are isolated and they're stuck there. They can't go outside because of fear of, fear of getting killed.
It's why they went into Midian, is because that's what happened. There used to be a lot more of them, and they were hunted down. So because humans didn't understand them, they went down into Midian.
I'm so glad that Clive Barker made that movie because there's just so many great practical effect moments with that makeup and everything. It's just full on display there. It's
tons
beautiful.
of character, memorable at
Tons
that. Yeah, even the background ones that didn't really do much. Just the designs, like Moon Man.
And I didn't get his name. There was the other one because unfortunately because I work overnights and my hours, I start a movie and I have to stop it, and then when I get a chance. So I picked up Adam from the airport, and I'm like, I got 20 minutes left of this movie. And then I put it on, and he's like, so who's this? Who's that? Who's this? I'm like, man, I'm going to have to get you to watch it, but I need these last 20 minutes. But there's the one guy that I know he looked like he held lampreys, because they weren't snakes, but the two things that came out of his belly and would wrap around that would get
eels,
the eye
right?
socket.
They're eels?
They're like eels.
Yeah.
And then you had the other one that was with the horns that looked like a devil.
Nightcrawler.
It looked like Nightcrawler, but and then the one character was really weird. So as she's walking, this one guy's getting a bath, and he's got short little stumpy legs and these little arms, and his face is down his belly, and I'm sitting there like, well, that sucks. It's
that does suck.
You can't even wash yourself.
I'd rather be Moonface.
Yeah, I mean, but this movie, it's there's a lot of Clive Barker movies that I love. Nightbreed is pretty much top tier for me.
Clive Barker, low key, a lot of body horror elements.
Yeah.
And, David Finch too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not David Finch. Jesus Christ, what's
David Cronenberg?
Lynch?
No. Finch. What's his name? Fincher?
No, Lynch, right? David Lynch.
David Lynch. Sorry, there you go. I'm thinking of David fucking comic book artist over here. I'm sorry.
But yeah, like I said, for me, this movie, because being a comic book
Why
person,
is she calling me right now? I'm sorry.
Being a comic book person, this movie was just getting a horror comic book team as Radar called us nerds, can give us nerdgasms because it was so fucking good.
You know what's the bad part though is the fact that they were actually going to take this and turn it into a series until it got shut down.
I read that. And rewatching it again, it got left for a sequel.
Yeah, it did.
With the priest.
One second.
Wanting
I gotta answer a phone call.
All right.
Classic Rick.
I thought it was we had a comment.
He's like, hold up, I'm gonna leave.
Oh, well, shit, no.
What
That's
is
a
body horror again? What? P. Rockzilla? What are you doing?
What is body horror? Really care? I mean, but though, you know what it is.
It's whatever you want it to be, baby.
Body horror is you're basically shit that can happen to your body. As Radar said, not exactly like in slashers, but it just mutation, gross stuff. Your body falling apart, your body being transformed, just things that should not happen to your body. How's that? P. Rockzilla. But that's what body horror is. Just shit that should not be happening to your body. And ultimately is all horror and gross as hell.
A lot of it is beyond your control.
Beyond, beyond, absolutely beyond. Actually, that's what makes
any Cronenberg film. Not even David Cronenberg. His fucking son doesn't know.
I was gonna say any Cronenberg.
Any of them.
Okay. I love Possessor.
oh damn! P. Rockzilla got something for Radar.
God dang it! Every fucking time, man. I was born into it. That is the true horror.
You know what's funny? When I first came on here, man, Radar, the first thing I mentioned was the sign.
And then when I first came on, when I first joined on, I'm like, oh no, like you're a cowboy. Sorry.
No. Don't worry, guys. I know they're awful. I know they're bad, but I gotta stick with them.
Hey, I'm still sticking to the Patriots, even though they're going to suck for a while. So anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the next round of our second choice. And again, guys, these are not this isn't our top two.
You know, this is just, we want to get light.
Yeah, I mean, one you may not have seen, one obviously you have seen, and everybody else, we're just giving you guys some examples of body horrors for you to check out. Look them up, check these movies out. JR, you're first.
There's one body horror film. I think Radar is gonna mention it. That's why I didn't put it up. If JR brings it up, I'm gonna be tight. I think Radar got it though, but I don't. Let's see which one of the two. It could be.
There's a lot of body horror films.
I think it's Radar though, but let me see what JR got. Come on, JR, what you got, son?
All right, I'm gonna go to one that I watched before. I actually rewatched it the other day just to get a little bit more about it. But there's a 2013 film called Contracted. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that one. You seen that one, Radar?
I have not seen it.
Is that the one? How can I put this? Where she sleeps with the dude who fucks dead bodies? Is that it? Or
no,
it's something else.
No, but that one I saw was actually pretty crazy.
Was that Dead Girl? You talking about Dead Girl?
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry. Got you.
All right, so Contracted is a story about this woman named Samantha who was in a breakup. So she goes to this party. Second,
Bro, you're killing me here. God damn it! What?
All right, so Sam goes to a party, and while she's at the party, she doesn't want to drink because she's suffering from a breakup, so she's depressed. So while at the party, she meets a guy who basically drops a pill in her drink and gets her wasted, and unfortunately takes advantage of her. So
yes, it is this one.
She ends up basically believing she contracted an STD. But what the thing is that she contracted is even more dangerous because literally her body starts to rot from the inside.
I saw this one. That's a good one.
And it has certain scenes in this movie that you're like, it has a teeth thing, which freaking kills me. So her teeth started going, and I think what the scariest part is there's a point in the movie where she literally lost vision in one of her eyes, where basically it was all white. And she did not know how she got it. She did not know how to cure it, nothing. And I think that was one of the biggest, even more fears in the movie, the fact that, just like anybody horror, the fact that when you contract something that is, all zombie films are like that. You get bit, you get body transform, and you're basically screwed. There's no cure, and I think that's what makes this film even more scarier because it's even more realistic. And I think that's even when you have a body horror film that could possibly even be more realistic, that is more disturbing. And I felt for this woman, and the fact that see her body literally fall apart to the point where even her own mother said, "What the hell did you do? What is wrong with you?" Instead of saying, "Let me get your help," she's like, "What the hell did you do? What is wrong with you?" And
because the mother was like, "What'd you do to catch something? You caught something. What did you do?" So, the mother was being a mother, technically, instead of helping. But basically, she was trying to, maybe by asking her what she did, she could have tried to help her and say, okay, so you might have contracted this. So had she just actually told her I had sex with somebody, he gave me an STD that's making my body fall apart.
That's a hell of a line.
Like literally, all right, Mom, here's what happened.
Look what he did. I'm blind in this eye. You know what the mother will think. What happened? Never mind. Let me not go. Contracted. Definitely watch it. It's
I want to see it. Where's that, Jared? Oh, don't say Tubi, please.
No. Freebie.
That's another commercial. That one's worse.
I think it's on Amazon Prime. I'm not sure, but
it was at one point on Shudder.
There is a sequel to it. There's two of them.
It follows. Great absence films.
Definitely. No, but it's a good watch. I definitely recommend it. I haven't seen the sequel yet, but I definitely want to watch the sequel.
There's a sequel?
Yes.
Well, I guess it mutated.
All right, and not to spoil it. Well, remember she bit somebody in the film.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all right.
That's all.
So then he has sex with someone.
Well, Rick, I don't want to throw you off. You're next, bro.
All right, I'm coming. Hold on.
Are you though?
All right, I know. All right.
It's not Radar. Isn't it Radar?
No, it's you. Are you telling the moderator how to
Sorry,
do it?
sorry.
Yeah,
I keep getting
Excuse
messages.
me?
I apologize.
Ooh.
All right, what you got? Throw me that question, son. Let's do it. What you got?
What's your second?
My number
movie?
two. My number two. All right, here we go. Ready? It ain't Cronenberg, but it's definitely The Fly. I'm gonna go The Fly 2.
Oh,
Eric
nice.
Stoltz, baby. Eric Stoltz, baby.
Nice.
Eric
That was
Stoltz.
a good
Let's
one,
fucking
too.
go. One of the best deaths on film. When Eric Stoltz's fly monster regurgitates all over that fucking dude's face, and the guy's like, ah! He pulled his face off, and he had to. I put it on the poster for a reason. That fucking scene there was fucking top tier, and the effects in that movie in general, the deaths were fucking brutal, man.
Oh yeah.
That movie to me it's not as good as the first one, obviously. 'Cause
Sleeper.
it don't got the heart of that film and the emotion, even though it had a happy ending. But
Yeah.
as far as body horror, practical effects, violence, this fucking movie was littered with it. I just want to give it a little bit of love because people always tend to forget this film. With Martin was his name, correct? Radar, right?
I can't
I'm gonna say
remember.
Martin. Martin.
Yeah.
I can't.
Maybe
The
I'm thinking
actor?
George Romero's Martin. I think it's, I don't know, whatever. Eric Stoltz's character, the fact that he is Seth Brundle's son, he was born with this gene. They eventually it awakens. We go through the whole shit again, but this time we spend more time with him in his fly form. Whether he's breaking someone's back, he's fucking spewing all over, like I said, somebody's face. One of my favorite scenes was one of the guards comes out and some guy he's looking for the fly, Martin's fly, and he runs into his own guy. He shoots him. And then he goes, "Fuck!" I mean, he calls out. I use that, by the way, in the Martin Horror Fiend Drama Theater clip. Watch that. Horror Fiend TV. I'm plugging my own shit. Thank you. But bro,
It's okay. I've been doing the same.
when Martin Fly regurgitated on that guy's face,
So-
body horror to the extreme. It also reminded me of a bit of Indiana Jones, which I threw in the poster as well. When the guy's face started melting.
when you open up the arc.
Yeah. So I love face melting scenes. I don't know what it is. Like, again, I mentioned the Incredible Mountain Man before. When he melts and that one eyeball just, boop, it just I love melting. I never want to melt in real life. Knock on wood. I don't got wood, but I never want to melt in real life. But I love watching it on screen, man. It's fucking cool. So
Oh, it's so cool when it happens.
I wanted to give Fly 2 some shout out because as far as body horror, there's a lot of body horror in it. And then what happens to the guy at the end? He comes out this big giant slug. Bro, I felt bad for Seth Brundle and The Fly. I was rooting for Martin here, and I was pumped when that motherfucker came out, disgusted beyond belief. So The Fly 2, man, I'm going to give it a shout out because of that. There's a tons of better body horror movies, but I want to signal two that I don't think enough people talk about. So that's where I stand on that.
Radar. It seems like you really know the movie, so you want to add some.
What you got, Radar? What you got about it?
Well, I absolutely love that bad guy did get his comeuppance at the end. And
I love that word.
baby. Just desserts. But it's like, until Tusk, that was like the most visually nasty kind of like unfortunate fate that someone had. Because they leave the bad guy alive.
And they leave him like that.
Yeah, they
Yes.
fucking leave him like that.
Yeah, it
They
didn't
don't
accept
kill him.
Brundle. The Brundle Fly, they put him out of his misery, obviously, but
Right.
Ronnie did, but Veronica, yes, they left him eating out of a fucking doggy bowl, man.
Yeah, fucking. And then what happens to the dog too? The special effects for when they like test on the dog, man. Ricky, I know. I mean, there's no dog in it.
No animals. No animals.
No animal. It's got fantastic special effects.
That's
though.
right.
It's
We got
great.
another animal scene coming up pretty soon. I gotta finish. Someone's gonna bring it up.
But I love how you shouted it out, Rick, because like no one really talks about.
No
the
one
second
talks
one.
about The Fly too, because The Fly, to me, when I rewatched it recently for our double feature, right, that me and Joe did, I was always afraid of this movie, not because I'm scared of it, because I was always it's depressing to me. But I watched it again, high as fuck, and this creeped into my top 10 movies of all time.
Oh wow.
This movie's that fucking good. As from a practical level, the writing, the acting, just the music, the cinematography, everything is on fucking point. Not 1 second on screen is wasted. But The Fly 2, it's not that. It's something different. It's a schlock film, in my opinion, but with a nice budget, good characters that you're rooting for, because you do root for Aristotle's character in this, and he makes it out of the ringer. He survives it, and yes, I think more people should watch Fly 2 and appreciate it more for what. Don't compare it to Fly 1. That's unfair.
It's not. They're two separate. They are two separate, but it's still a really, really good movie.
It's a continuation because he is related to Seth Brundle, obviously, but the two, it's like Kill Bill 1 and 2. They're the same movie split in two, but they're completely different in tone and direction. So I want to shout that out.
Nice shout out. All right, I know Radar's gonna have something.
This is peeing over here.
I don't know.
All right,
we got to keep going.
We're good.
The show goes on. All right, so
I'm just so salty. He got my fucking Santa's little helper picture.
So since Radar already said he's not doing Cronenberg, I am curious.
Before we get to Radar, though, let's get to what I'm. Good. Oh man, you're eating during a body horror episode.
There's nothing wrong with that. Beef stew is a great thing to eat, while doing body horror.
Yes, monster movie. Yeah, The Fly, man.
I didn't notice at the end for so long. I didn't notice that when the last teleportation in the first Fly, I didn't notice when it fails that he gets fucking fused with the teleporter.
Machine. Yes.
I never noticed that and was like, Jesus.
You're not the only one. The same thing here. I saw when I was younger. So I didn't pick up on that. But when you get older, oh my God, he is part human, insect, and not machine. How much?
But wait.
Fucked up can you get?
It's Radar's turn.
Oh.
Because y'all gonna use all your stuff.
No. I was talking about The Fly still.
I know. So shut up. Now, Radar, it's your turn.
There are two movies that I'm battling between calling out, but I think I'm going to go with my first pick and bring up Tetsuo the Iron Man.
Fucking awesome movie.
You got me.
Yes.
All right, so here's the premise, y'all. Just a Japanese businessman and his lady having a nice drive when a metal fetishist, who's a person who just likes to stick junk metal into their body, runs out on the road. They fucking knock him over, vehicular manslaughter, and they're like, toss him over and just move on with their lives. Or so they think, which I'm going to be honest. If I ran over someone, I don't know if I would do the right thing. If I'm he ran out on the road.
It's called fight or flight. Unfortunately, it is a normal human reaction to go, I'm not fucking staying.
Yeah. So, and it's and so then the rest of the movie is this Japanese businessman slowly turning into scrap metal.
Yep.
And it is crazy, my man. Yeah. He's got a trash penis drill at one part of it. Very weird.
I remember that movie.
Yep.
How have I not heard of this?
When people do any list I've ever seen, body horror, that is always on there. And Tetsuo has never been. It's usually been between 1 and 5, if not at least within 1 and 3 for a lot of lists that I've seen for that. That is and it's black and white.
Yeah, it's black and white.
Black and white, which adds more to the body horror of it, because you don't see the red, you don't see blood. It's all black and white. So that's a good shout out.
Yeah, it's a weird trippy movie though. I have to admit, it didn't have a crazy budget. Part of the reason why it's black and white, and he had to use some stop motion kind of junk special effects in a few scenes, so it gets a little wonky there. But it just adds to it altogether.
Japanese?
Yeah, yep. It's an old movie.
Yeah, Japanese. Have you ever?
89.
Is 89?
89.
Damn, I thought it was older than that.
No.
Let me ask you real quick. Don't spend too much time on it, but you seen Tokyo Gore Police?
Mm-mm.
It's been a hot minute.
Body horror. All right, watch. If you like Japanese body horror, Tokyo Gore Police. Look it up. I own that movie actually. I got a DVD. So
You know, when you mentioned that movie there, the first thing I thought for some reason was Ichi the Killer. You ever seen Ichi the Killer?
That's a good one too.
Because there's a body horror in there where the guy's hanging up on through his skin, and this dude comes in and starts boiling some hot water, and then starts pouring on the dude. I'm like,
that's
Oh man.
it's so brutal. I gotta watch it again.
But I made soup of a new red. I wanted to be 8. What?
I didn't say blonde. What? Hold on. I didn't say I wanted to be eaten.
Hold on. Next. Sure, don't justify.
All right. So, what's your shirt say?
The Fly, baby.
Why, bro?
That is mine. I mean, we're doing body horror. I mean, if you guys have not seen the double feature that Rick and I did, the movie's so good that we had to put it in 2 different shows and then combine it. But it's not David Cronenberg at his best. I'll put it that. However, what happens to Seth in this movie? And JR, when he was talking earlier, we were talking about teeth. The problem is when I talk about teeth, I start touching my own teeth during this time. But, you know, the nails coming apart, when he's sitting there and his ear falls off, and it's kind of like, well, oops, that just happened.
I would have started crying, man.
I think the thing is that he reached the point where he knew what was coming. So anything that was going to be going on, it didn't seem to disturb him. Nope. If you paid attention, anytime stuff happened, it didn't disturb him. He wasn't like, holy fuck.
At first, he was a bit because he was, but once he knew what was happening to him,
he embraced the change. So we all talk about the fact that it's about what you can't control. This is one of those movies where the person knew something was going to happen, and he embraced it.
Let me ask you, Joe, since he was fused with the Fly, obviously, not just genetics, but he's talking about inside politics, right? Do you think it also affected his mind, the way? You said it yourself. He's like he was okay with it.
He was okay with it.
Who the fuck will be okay with it? But he's looking at, this is for science, So I think
he did. I mean, and the thing is, with almost all body horrors we will watch, generally there's a victim. They're all victims. Seth Brundle was not a victim. He was of his own making, and then accepted his fate. Yeah. And accepted the transformations. Like, I would have been like, all right, computer, how do we reverse this? Trying to figure out a way. Whereas
he tried at the end, but
he wanted it more than anything. He wanted it to the point where he'd rather have that transformation than be a normal person.
But if you guys haven't watched, like I said, the teeth thing. I mean, it's the one thing we have that everybody sees every day. It is also one of the more painful things we all can go through. I mean, broken bones, yes, but teeth hurting you, getting a teeth extracted, shit with your teeth, your mouth, it hurts, and like your teeth falling out. Like, I'm like, oh my god. it just really was for me up there as just the most fucked up way to go. And because Rick, you said you didn't miss it. Like, when I first saw the movie, from the beginning, I picked up that in the end he was fused with the machine, which was even worse because before he was fused with human, and not with an animal.
He had limbs at least.
Right. This was now like pieces from the machine sticking out of you. Like, you're literally like, this was Cronenberg's. Like, just the way he did this. And I love the original Fly. I will say, the reason I saw the remake was because I was actually growing up. I did see the original Fly, and I love that one. And if people who know, help me, Radar laugh. Everybody, when you say help me, everyone knows that's the Fly. So yes, that for me, that's my second, choice. It's just like, ugh. It's the worst thing I've seen a body go through. And since I already started talking a little bit on it, go ahead and throw your, what you guys thought about the Fly.
See, one thing I don't understand, and and it's a horror movie trope. When people start losing their teeth, they do this and stare at it. And I'm like, man, you know what came out of your mouth. I mean, and you just gonna. I mean, I'd freak the dog or I'd try to put it back in or something.
Well, I think it's more. He's in shock more. He's like, can't believe it. You know,
every horror movie, that person starts losing their teeth. That's the first thing. The only one that didn't do that, and it freaked us out, was when we watched Anything for Jackson, and that lady's flossing, her teeth are just hitting the floor and stuff. That's the only one that you're like, all right, she's not looking at her teeth at least, but all the other ones just like,
But no, and
I think Seth. I'm sorry, because Seth was more like, here we go. They finally lost the teeth. You know.
Well,
so he's
yeah,
probably,
because
he knew.
One of the first things he said in the beginning was that teeth were going to be useless.
Yeah.
For him, he doesn't need teeth. So that's why I said he knew in the beginning at some point, you know, they're useless. And so when they fell out, he's like, I knew this was going to fucking happen. Like, here we go. Well, Ed, before we go on to the next one.
Hold on. Teeth are scary because they affect everything. What you eat, what you look and talk, the pain. Yeah.
Thank you, bro. Exactly why.
Colpool.
I said bro. Colpool.
I call my girlfriend bro too, so that's okay. Which I do, by the way. I'm not lying.
But I was curious because it's a random body horror, and I know you're just live, and especially with the news that we just found out with Julian Sands, Boxing Helena. Oh. If anybody's not seen Boxing Helena, that is a great body horror starring the great Julian Sands. I just wanted to bring it up because let's give a little sip to Julian.
Salute to Julian Sands. Remember, we did Arachnophobia.
I know, like literally, it's killing me. Like I just finished talking about him. I was curious if anybody, because all of a sudden you guys were like random. I'm like, shit, I had this little nice homage to Julian, and somebody's gonna mention Boxing Helena out of nowhere. But check out Boxing Helena. It's another great body horror.
The cover's awesome too.
Oh yeah, Sherilyn Fenn and Julian Sands. Definitely check that out. You know, Julian Sands, rest in peace. Thank you for all the great movies you gave us, especially Arachnophobia. All right. So I know this guy. Anyway. And I'm like, I went sad. Now we're gonna move on. But I just wanted to throw a little shout out to him.
Yeah, I love his what do you call the segues.
I know. I know it's. I can't help it. But
take us home. Good.
So now let's discuss, you know, our favorite body horror director, writer, whichever way you want to go. Both combos. And I'm gonna start with our fellow. Actually, it is fellow writer. There's two, JR and Radar. Oh, they're in order. So we're gonna go in order with our writers first. Radar. Who is your favorite body horror director or writer?
Well, it has to be Cronenberg. He's the king of it. You know, I know it's the basic bitch move, but he totally is.
Radar, you seen Shiver?
What?
Have you seen Shiver?
Which one is that?
And that's his very first body horror film ever. Like third film he ever done?
I think so.
Yeah.
I personally haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, so I'm not trying to I'm just curious if you've seen it. I haven't seen it though. Joe, you saw it?
Mm-hmm. Of course I've seen Cronenberg movies. There's a couple more the ones I've seen, but
yeah, there's a few that I haven't seen, but that's all right. They were before.
But you don't need to trust me. Yeah, Cronenberg's the king, man. So
he's the king.
I agree.
It's just that he's always able to also inject some sort of interesting social commentary on technology or just family dynamics or something like that into it. You know, like in The Fly, the real body horror isn't that Seth Brundle is turning into a fly, like you said, because he's accepted it. It's because Gina Davis's character might have something that is a fly creature, and it's just a nice little twist on it.
On there, yep.
And I feel like only Cronenberg could do that.
Awesome comment right
there. JR, who's yours?
You guys got me because, like I said, it's not a genre that I watch a lot of. But if I was to pick somebody that's not Cronenberg, because the movie is a body horror, would be James Gunn when he did Slither.
Slither.
Nice.
Slither is
Slither.
a very
Nice.
good. I'm glad you brought up Slither.
Thank you. That's a good one.
That movie was like the funny thing with that movie was it had a lot of body horror, but I took it more of a horror comedy because there was some.
Yeah.
It was. Oh, it was totally
terrible
horror
scenes in
comedy.
that.
James Gunn
You know.
script, absolutely.
But yeah, I would say definitely James Gunn Slither because that movie is so underrated. Doesn't when you hear James Gunn, that's like one of the movies that nobody ever talks about.
That's his first director film. by
Yep.
the way.
Yeah, but nobody
Yeah.
talks about it. It's just everybody talks about, of course, Guardians and
And people
Right.
forget he wrote the 2004, I think it was, Dawn of the Dead, the remake.
yes.
The running
Right.
zombies and shit. James Gunn was responsible for the motherfucking running. Sorry,
Well,
sorry. I hate running.
we need runners.
But I do like that movie.
We need
Dawn
runners.
of the Dead was
Talk
awesome.
All right, well, Rick.
So me, obviously Cronenberg is king, but I want to keep it. This is Ricky Grimes we're talking about. My favorite body horror film / director writer. Come on, Joe, Radar, JR, you gotta know it's
Romero.
fucking John Carpenter because he did The Thing.
Dang.
The Thing, the
Boom.
ultimate for me, in my opinion, just my opinion, my favorite all-time body horror film. It is body horror. The Thing. Nobody could have done a thing like John Carpenter, man. From like the all-male cast. Not that women are. I don't want to sound like that, but the fact that he kept it all male for a reason. Nobody trusts each other. The fact that this alien affects not only animals, it affects every motherfucker. This guy took this old film with this guy in a rubber suit, and he remade it into something so fucking horrific. Has a great Kurt Russell as Childs. I got my boy Keith David's in this film. Oh, he's Childs. Sorry, McCready.
Yeah.
I got him confused there.
We'll forgive you.
Yeah, that was a blunder. Come on, man. Come on, I've been taking shots and drinking beer. Anyway.
No?
Anyways.
Start taking shots.
Anyway, yeah, man. But the body horror to this, whether it's an animal, a human being, nobody was spared as far as getting fucked up.
Animal transformation was horrible.
The amazing special effects by Rob Bottin, chef's kiss, top tier.
Beautiful.
He also did The Howling. This guy is vastly underappreciated in my opinion. I think people think of like a lot of like Tom Savini, Rick Bickett, but Rob Bottin, man, this was a fucking masterpiece. So yeah, this is gonna be mine. John Carpenter hit it out of the park when he did The Thing, man. I don't want to ever see this movie remade again, even though I saw the remake.
The remake's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's a prequel.
It's a prequel.
It's a prequel.
And actually, I swore that I read somewhere that Carpenter is working.
But
He's doing another one.
You know what? All right, there's two things. First of all, Carpenter did work on the story and the video game, The Thing. So if you want to know what happened between McCready and Childs, play the video game. They tell you there what happens. I'm not gonna say it here.
But no, I read that they're working on a sequel.
Yeah. Also, damn man, you had to cut me off.
I'm sorry.
I lost my train of thought.
We live.
Oh man.
You know what's funny? Like getting train of thought. There's two movies besides, of course, the Thing prequel.
I found it, but go ahead, Joe.
That remind me of The Thing a lot, and we talked about one, Super Deep, which had
I was gonna put that on the poster.
which had tremendous. Have you seen that one yet, Radar?
Which one?
Super Deep.
Oh yeah.
That was our first all around
That
fives,
was
right?
a great homage
I didn't
to
do a 5 on that one.
certain points of the creature in that was awesome, and a movie that Joe likes. That's another reminder of The Thing, Leviathan.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Which
That's
is an
like- it's a
underwater
90s
version.
film, right?
Yeah, the underwater version. of The
I'll be
Thing.
honest, 90s movies.
That one was actually good because
I know.
It came out,
I'm not
it came out
discrediting it.
at the same time as another one,
Deep Star 6.
Yep.
And
Hold
they
on,
both
hold
were
on.
good. They both were good.
Before one thing I wanted to say beforehand about The Thing, the prequel. If you go back and do actual research and read about it, they had practical effects lined up, bro.
Killer.
They had it. You can see it if you go on YouTube and look for it. You can see it. And the fucking studio turned it down because they wanted to go cheap, and they gave us this horrible CGI. So this is why that movie I got a soft spot for, because they really did intend to make it good, but the studios interfered. And that's one thing I love about 70s and 80s filmmaking. the directors had so much more freedom, bro. Like they could do whatever the fuck they want. Now they can't. Their hands are tied because it's all commercialized. But yeah, I wanted to shut that up. People always shit on the CGI, which it was bad, but it's not. That's because that's not the directors and writers' intentions. They had, if you go back and you see it, they got actual practical effects shot. You can see it shot. It looks awesome, bro.
It looks great. The little tentacle thing, like that was practical. It looks great.
And they took all that work that was done already and replaced it with a fucking
CGI.
computer. Fuck off. But yeah, before we get to that, let's get to the comments. Here we go. Teeth are scary because they affect. Oh, got it. I'm sorry. Sorry, Joe. Sorry, Joe. I had nightmares like that after watching that scene. All right. Who did the Fly?
David
Cronenberg. David Cronenberg. He's the Fly. It's great. After we did the Fly, Joe, I posted it on my Instagram, but I went back and found my McFarlane movie Maniacs original Brundlefly action figure, bro.
Nice.
Still on cards. The card's not mint because it's all faded, but the figure, immaculate. I just had to bring that up. Yeah, David Cronenberg, P Rock. Yes, was awesome. Ricky Krabs, cool pull. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to
of
go
course,
with
no editing. Yeah, I fucked that up. I'm sorry.
You're good. I'm going with Cronenberg, David and Brandon.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna say both of them.
I'm glad you did that. Yeah.
I'm doing both of them. So first of all, obviously, and I said it when I did The Fly. Cronenberg is the master. Rabid, Scanners, Videodrome. Not so much body horror, but Dead Ringers is an awesome movie.
Have you seen the series, by the way?
I'm not, and I want to.
I saw
even though I love
episode.
the fucking movie.
I see the first episode. Let me tell you, if you're a woman and pregnancy bothers you, bro.
Is it good though? Because I do want to check it out.
It was good, but the reason why my girlfriend could not go back to the second episode, it was too much for her. But I want to finish the series because I like Rachel Weisz so far.
Oh, I love her.
Awesome. Sorry, I just had to bring that up. Okay.
But yes, and what I love,
History of Violence. Though I'm sorry, you said he doesn't do
History of Violence. What was the other one? Crimes
of the Future.
Naked Lunch.
Crimes of the Future.
Naked Lunch is crazy.
He is just, oh my God, he's up there. But what's best is that his son is following in his footsteps. We did Possessor. When I had to watch Possessor like 4 times to actually get it. Like I think when I think I messaged Rick when I first watched it, and I was a little too drunk, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And then I watched it the second time, and I'm like, I still don't know. But when we went to do the review,
it's a few
you're like that movie, like it has the blueprint of his father all over it.
Yeah.
But elevated. Like I think Junior, did you see Infinity Pool?
I haven't watched it yet.
Did anybody see Infinity
Pool? I haven't watched it yet.
You saw it?
You saw it, Joe?
No, I did.
No, go
ahead.
I saw it.
Because that was a follow-up.
These guys haven't seen it yet. I will say though, it's not my favorite. I'll say that, but not necessarily that it's bad. But there is a very interesting concept in this film that.
I do know what the concept is, which is a fucked up concept.
All right. Well, I didn't see the trailer. I didn't read anything. I didn't know until I saw it, and I'm like, that's fucked up. I don't know what to do that. But I suggest you 3 guys definitely watch it. It's Cronenberg, 100% Cronenberg. I'll say that.
But and I wanted to throw Possessor in here too, and I was waiting because dude, check out Possessor. I mean, and again, if you listen. So if you drink before you watch a movie, it's gonna be a little hard. If you smoke before you watch the movie, even if you smoke a little bit, it might be a little hard. So Possessor is going to take you, like your first watch, you're gonna go, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Literally, I know, seriously, you were gonna go, but you watch it a couple times, and you just start seeing the brilliance of Cronenberg. Because I'm just using the last name because you see the brilliance in it. Like I want to say is it Tasia? What the I'm gonna look it up. I know we're live normally when we're recording.
I said Alexa, come on. It's much faster than you. Trust me.
No, because
So now we're gonna look at you doing this. So.
shut up.
Anyway, before you do that, Radar,
Andrea
Super Assessment?
Reisenberg. Hold on, Andrea
What?
Reisenberg. She played the character is Tasia Voss. Did any
you
guys
know
see it?
she is from Mandy? She plays Mandy. I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yep.
Sorry.
She doesn't look like really how she looks in Mandy at
No,
all.
that's why. Yeah. Good show.
I mean, did you see Possessor?
Radar.
Oh yeah, I love Possessor, dude. I love Possessor. It's
Nice.
the nice, weird kind of shit that I just am into.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. Very cool.
It's a very cool movie. All right, well,
Great
shit.
concept too.
Look at GR. GR's looking up his next baby movie. Right?
My next what?
His next
The
baby
next-
movie.
The next baby movie.
It's a joke that every time GR brings up movies, always involves some babies somehow.
A baby or a mother?
Not that, I'm not saying the movies are bad. I'm just saying
They're not.
there's
I-
always
I mean,
babies
yeah,
involved.
yeah, I mean,
He's always a
I
baby.
rated West Set Out High, but yeah, I'm like sitting there like,
Just don't watch Tin and Tina. That's all.
which one?
I still haven't watched that one.
Tin and Tina. Don't watch that.
Don't watch it.
Okay.
Not that it's bad. GR would love it. You know me. Everything I hate in movies, it's in that
So animals.
movie. Everything that I hate.
Oh,
One thing is good though, GR. My boy, Denver, is the main character.
Oh,
in it.
Denver.
You know Denver's, right?
Oh yeah, man, from freaking Money Heist.
It's a Spain movie, so he's the main character. So he's
These movies are
awesome.
awesome. Oh,
By the
Spain
way,
movies are freaking
GR, I do say watch it, but for me, it has stuff I don't like in it. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry, man. I'm getting too drunk and buzzed. I keep
Oh, no,
talking.
you're good.
Yeah,
You're
no,
good.
no, there's
I gotta
actually.
mute myself.
I'm gonna throw a good body horror film because it's
Oh, actually, wait before you go, because we have a little bit more time left. Because I like to keep you guys at least an hour and a half.
okay.
So we're gonna throw it because I'm just throwing it off. Everybody name one more movie. JR first.
Hold
ooh, just one more.
One
on.
more.
Hold on. I got my list actually.
Go ahead, JR.
There's an international movie. It's if you're a vampire fan or like vampire movies, there's this movie called Thirst. I don't know if you guys ever seen it.
Ooh, did I see that?
That's
No.
a good one.
Thirst it's about a priest who there's a plague going around, so he begins to lose faith in God. So he decides that he's going to volunteer himself for this experimental procedure. And what the procedure ends up doing is slowly turning him into a vampire.
Ooh.
But I wouldn't say it's a slow burn because it's actually a pretty fun movie to watch because there are some scenes in that movie that are freaking hysterical. But the fact that we have a priest who lost his faith in God becoming a vampire, and he knows the only way for him to survive is to drink. But the transformation, like the way he starts transforming, is pretty cool, and it's actually a very good film. It's one of these vampire films that really don't get talked about, and it should because it actually has a good storyline, good plot in it. And to add a twist to it, he infects somebody else, which adds even more to the story. But yeah, it's a good body horror film because it is a transformation. Once again, something that goes into your body that you cannot control. And the fact that it's a man of faith going through this is even better. But yeah, Thirst. I don't know where it's streaming right now. But definitely watch it. It's a fun watch.
All right.
Nice.
Who am I going to go to next? Radar or Rick? Radar or Rick? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. Here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Negan over
Rick!
there. What else?
It's your turn, Rick.
Before we get to my turn, I got a comment here. He up to something.
Who's up to something?
JR always up to something.
JR is always JR is always. Every time I look at JR, he's texting, he's talking, but he's like this.
Leave him alone.
That's my brother. That's my brother. I don't fuck-
That's my brother.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
Rick. No, I know you're my
All
brother.
right, but
too,
since this was a curveball, man, you got me.
Oh, I know.
I like being different. All right, this is good. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, but you might not agree with me on this one. But I think it is. It can be classified as a form of body horror, and that is the Autopsy of Jane Doe.
It is actually.
Thank you. You
It
made me
is
feel better.
actually.
Guess
Now,
it
the
is
reason-
a whole-
The reason why I bring this up, body horror. What's the one thing that we all associate with body horror? Grossness, disgusting,
Yeah, right.
blood, guts. This movie didn't have really any of that. But the fact that this corpse is sitting there and is being dissected, and they find all types of weird shit in it, and then it tells the story what happened to this person. That's body horror to me, man.
That's actually been popping up on, like, it's showing up on lists of body horror.
It's great
So,
because
your call is the right call.
You know how I found this? How I discovered this movie? And Joe, you would appreciate this. New York Comic Con, a few years back, before the movie came out, they had the actual dummy from that movie was there.
Ooh.
Nobody was around this. Nobody was around the booth. Me, I'm all over it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And the people that are associated with the movie are like, oh, this is from an upcoming movie. This is the actual
Wow.
This is the actual prop used for the movie. She looked fucking real, by the way. I'm like, that's a dummy. You touch it. I'm touching it. It feels real. I'm like, oh my god. I wasn't touching the breast, okay. So, I'm feeling the skin, the muscle. I'm like, this looks and feels so real. What is this? And it's a new movie coming out. All types of Jane Doe, blah blah. Okay, I forgot about that there because it's kind of buzzed out of my mind. It's high as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw it on Netflix, I think it was maybe, but this is that movie from Comic-Con. So I watched it. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. And yes, it's creepy, and it just gives you like the heebie-jeebies because it's a form of body horror, but it's done in a way where it's subtle. Yeah. And to me, that's fucking. And just the story behind it makes it even creepier. So that's gonna be like my little wild card in there. If anyone hasn't seen that flick, I would recommend watching it. It's really good. You seen it, Gio?
No, I'm just laughing at Cole.
No, that's okay, Gio. No, I just want to make sure.
No, I saw it. It's great.
You saw it. It's good, right?
It stars the great Brian Cox.
My boy, it's Logan Roy, son,
and Emil Hirsch. It's a great.
Yes, he's good in it. He's really good in it.
I know because we give JR like crap for his slow burns. It's a slow burn.
That's
a really good movie.
But you know what's good about that slow burn? Because you don't know what's going on.
Yes.
You see the body like
the mystery keeps you.
Yes, Radar.
Yeah.
It builds and builds. You're like, even towards the end, you still don't know what the fuck's going on. And then you find out what is it, witchcraft? Oh my god, it's a fucking awesome film. So yeah, as far as body horror in the unconventional way, if I'm gonna say the stuff and the thing, this is my wild card. This is like total opposite, but I think it definitely deserves not only to be talked about as a body horror, but as a horror film and cinema in general. So yeah.
All right. Radar.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it hasn't been mentioned yet. But Society. If y'all have ever seen...
Yes, somebody. Wait.
None of you have seen Society?
Wait a minute. No,
I've heard of this series.
It's an old movie, right? It's old, right?
1989.
Wait a minute.
1989 movie. Do not look up anything on it. Go.
No, because
all right. What I was doing was, Adam, can you bring me a beer? If you're still watching, I was texting
Damn,
you.
so they're gonna make me want to get another beer.
Oh my gosh.
That's the benefit of having your.
Where did No, because you said I wrote that in my notes somewhere because I haven't seen it and I want to see it. I came across anyway. I'll let you.
It is a slow burn. So yes, I guess we're all throwing slow burns at the end. But the last 30 minutes of this movie. You won't, if you go in blind, you will never guess what's going to fucking happen.
Is that as bad as the last 30 minutes of The Wanderers? Not The Wanderers. What's that movie? What's that movie that just came out?
Oh god.
Wasteland? Oh, Jesus Christ. Remember it was Skinner Rank and no one after that.
It's the found footage one. It's the found footage one that takes place in the Australian outback.
Yes, what the fuck?
Something Waters.
Outwaters.
Outwaters.
I haven't seen it, so.
Okay, never mind. Because the last 30 minutes of that film was like,
this is not like anything you've ever seen. The last 30 minutes of this movie. I'm glad you
brought up Society because I did have that on my list to watch. I haven't seen it though.
And it lets you know from the beginning what's going to happen, except you just can't guess it. It's right there in front of your nose. It's just like, and it starts out as this like kind of like thriller psychological where like the main character's going like, I think something's wrong with my family. He keeps hearing them talk about weird stuff. So he's like, are they in a sex cult together? What's going on here? Is the rest of my school on it? Like, and he keeps seeing things that are a little weird. And just the last 30 minutes, it truly is life-changing. It's truly
I'm gonna check it out.
I have to check it out.
Oh, you know what it was? Yes. All right. Who directed that one, Radar? You know?
I think Brian Usna, but the special effects were done by Screamin' Mad George. And these are some of the greatest practical effects of all time. Screamin' Mad George is also an underrated.
All right, two things. He says Screamin' Mad George and practical effects. I'm all in.
That's all you need to hear, baby.
That's all I need.
Yeah, he does the special effects for it, and it's magnificent. So check it out. I'm
glad you brought that up. I did come across that on the body horror list, but I never seen it. So good shout.
All right, so mine, because we're going random. I'm going to say the name and see if anybody can tell me what movie it is. It stars Jeffrey Combs.
Reanimator.
From Beyond.
Reanimator.
Oh.
Reanimator. Awesome. Now, Reanimator has... I kind of that it's more zombie.
Yes, you bastard.
But about watching it again and the way it looked, that's actually... I froze?
Yeah, you froze, Joe.
You froze.
Am I frozen right
now?
He's taking Genesis right now. He's taking Genesis.
Oh,
this
no.
happens. You're fine, bro. It happens once a session. You're good.
Every once in a while. Am I still frozen?
No, you're good. You're good.
Put your hand up. Put your hand up. Let me see.
No,
I just wanted to put your hand up.
All right.
Good.
Got him.
You see my hand now?
Come on, look at JR's shirt. Michael Scott, man. Of course JR's gonna
come on, man.
Of course he's gonna toss him in. So.
But yes, Reanimator is my other choice.
Yes, I had that on my list, by the way, Joe.
Yeah, because I never looked at that as a body horror.
Oh yeah.
And then in reading some of the lists that I've done, it's changed my mind in the way that I looked at it. Because for me, I looked at it as a zombie movie.
This is a decapitated head just talking to people.
Yeah.
A decapitated head eating out a girl.
Well, I didn't mention that part, but
the fact that the body of hell is so good.
Given that fellatio.
But yeah, so Reanimator is my other one, and I'm glad actually, some of these movies that I bring up from back in the day, JR saw with me. I mean, we basically saw the movies together. So, yeah, Reanimator all of a sudden has popped up on my list for body horror. I didn't look at it as body horror, but now I actually do. All right, well,
Stuart Gordon is another body horror guy, believe it or not. Stuart Gordon has a lot of weird... You mentioned From Beyond?
From Beyond.
Yeah, From Beyond is the other one that Stuart Gordon did with Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton also.
Bro, Joe, Peter from Dawn of the Dead, Ken Forey, he was running around in his fucking underwear in this fucking movie. Not that I'm excited about that, but it's hilarious that he's running. Peter from Dawn of the Dead is running around in his underwear, tackling weird moms, and Barbara Crampton. Oh my god!
I love Barbara
God,
Crampton.
I was so in love with her.
I love Barbara
that
Crampton.
fucking black spandex she wore in this fucking film. I kicked myself because me and Gia went to a horror convention last year. Yeah. And she was there, and I didn't go see her. I should have, man. That was my mistake. I should have done that, man. That's where Jared met Mike Flanagan. He met Mike Flanagan then.
Mike Flanagan and his wife. Took a picture.
Oh, nice.
That's funny. You know who was there at the convention? Right? You would love this. Some of the Cenobites from the original Hellraiser.
Ooh, nice. Which ones?
The one with the little he'll like Morpheus if Morpheus.
Oh, the big bald guy with the little
glasses.
The one with the teeth.
I hated that guy, but
the chatter.
Chatter. Chatter. Okay, Chatter.
Hold on. Speaking of that, I think it's Terrificon, GR. Your boy Mike. Anthony and Michael Hall is gonna be there. If you ever wanted to talk shit to his face, like you did during a Halloween review,
oh god,
now's your chance, brother. Now's your chance. I'm going. So
you are not going to talk shit to him from the Breakfast Club.
No, of course not.
Well, we're going to the HorrorCon this year.
Being facetious.
We're going to the HorrorCon this year that has the Terrifier is going to be there.
Art the Clown.
Art the Clown's going to be there.
Elvira.
Yes, Elvira. I mean, their list is massive for this year. I'll put up
Michael Bean. Oh, my boy, Michael Bean. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll try to do like a little bit of a live from there as much as we can. That way,
Live
everybody
stream,
can see
horror
who's
film
gonna be
TV. I got you.
Yes.
I'll take care of the live. Yo, Joe, you're practically gonna be there, motherfucker. Let's do it. All right, I'm sorry. I'm digressing. Let's go.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us for this live one. Next month, Junior's going to be on vacation, even though he'll be in Florida, and I'll be seeing him, but he's not going to be available for the live.
He's going to be fucking getting some nice rays, eating some good food, and
so next month we have a full house here. Radar, you're joining us.
I am. Okay. Yes, I am. Yep.
Yes, we're going back to camp. So we got Lexi.
Right.
We got Lexi joining us. Angel
fourth corner
from
Angel.
Voices from the Mausoleum will be joining us. So it's a full house. So next month for the live, we're going to be all 80s style. This beard's gonna be gone.
Well, we're going back to camp, son. We're going
to camp.
80s camp slash.
So here's my thing. Make sure you guys watch at least. This is your assignment. Sleepaway Camp. If you don't watch Sleepaway Camp, well then. But your other one, obviously, you're going to want to watch all the Friday the 13th. But we might throw in some other ones that you have not seen. But definitely for the live, we're going to be discussing Sleepaway Camp and Friday the 13th. So,
amongst other films.
Those
are the two. Sleepaway Camp is the ultimate.
Up there.
That's
up there. Oh, yeah, that's up there. I mean, the bees, I hate bees. And actually, Beto's allergic to bees.
He's allergic to bees?
Yeah, I can tell a whole story about the fact that.
You know which camping thing you guys got put in there? Meatballs.
I fucking love meatballs. I love meatballs. I love meatballs. But
Hey, real quick, did any of you guys get into the sequels to Sleepaway Camp?
I did.
What, second and third one?
I'm not gonna lie. There's Teenage Wasteland and couple.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Like I enjoyed all of them. Man.
I did too.
I enjoyed it.
I did too.
They're
the schlock we need.
They're not as good as the first, because the first one definitely that twist just blew out of the water. But as far as a fun 80s slasher, and it was good.
All right, so guys, that's it for us. 3 Corners of Horror is out with Radar. And join us next month. Like I said, we're going back to camp. You're going to see all of us dressed up in our 80s attire. Well, not JR. JR will be by the pool.
I'll be by the pool.
Having his coffee.
No coffee on vacation.
Oh, all right.
Nah, he'll be drinking his margarita by the pool, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be hitting you up to meet up at Universal and all that. All right, guys.
Have a good evening. Next time you need shots, every time you. Ooh, Sally, I like Joe.
I'm all for
Oh my
Me and
God.
Rick are the shot guys, so
I don't think these guys don't drink though. Like we
Yeah,
do,
no.
So.
Well, next time we'll
Radar, you drink Radar at all?
Oh, I drink a little bit, so I mean,
you work. That's why you don't drink when we're here, right?
what?
I'm saying you got to get up early the next day.
Yeah, I have to get up early.
That's
the
why.
next day,
Okay.
yeah,
No, that's
yeah.
cool.
All right.
Oh, yeah, man.
It's tough to wake up at 5 when you're blasted beyond all the
Trust me,
Oh,
bro.
I've done it.
I wouldn't do it either, bro.
It's
Trust
hard,
me.
man. I went to work like that. I had to find an
I
excuse to go home.
wouldn't do it. I can't.
It's an excuse to go home.
There has been a few times I've shown up to work, especially after 3 Corners or when Rick and I record.
Bro, when me and Joe went to New York Comic-Con last year, I never ever waked and baked until I hung out with this motherfucker, bro. You know what's up? We wake up, you go smoke weed.
Baked, and drank.
Mind you, New York is legal, so you can go right outside and smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? So, and then we go to the show. As soon as I get there, I fucking crack open the beer. Just I was not sober that entire trip.
I'll give you one work story real quick. On a Friday night, I got called by P Rockzilla and our friends Juan. Like, yo, what are you doing? I'm not doing anything. So, yo, let's go out. Just for when you hear just for a little bit, understand it's not for a little bit.
3 hours, 4 hours.
That's a Puerto Rican thing.
At 8 o'clock, thinking I could be home by midnight. I did not get home till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, jeez.
I did not even go to sleep. I went to work at 5 o'clock in the morning because I had to work that Saturday. Went to work at 5, Half an hour later, I had to call my boss and literally tell him, "Listen, I can't stay because I'm drunk."
Most
And I went home and-
most bosses will accept you being quite honest and saying,
Dude, one time I
"This
did
is
that too.
why."
It was like a New Year's. I freaking woke up in the Denny's parking lot somewhere with one of my friends. First thing I did was I called her. Yeah, I'm not coming in. I'm like, where the fuck am I? I'm in a car. Like, we're in a Denny's. What the fuck?
Yeah, no. There's been plenty of times I've like called in. I'm like, yeah, so we're not gonna make it into work today. Still drunk, but
Need a weekend show.
Weekend show,
we will attempt to do a Friday show one time if we can.
yeah, Friday would be fun.
A Friday show.
It would be a shit show, but
Hey, yo, but Joe, whenever it's meeting, it's always a shit show.
well, I know.
But we manage.
Yeah, I've gotten better.
Listen,
I've
bro,
gotten
we
better.
manage.
Listen, I've gotten better. I'm the one moderating this
And I
shit.
talk a lot, so I edited.
No. Listen,
Trust me.
I've gotten better. I mean, for the first lives was me trying to figure out the camera and all in face going, "It's not working." So
Look, right now, I got this warning on my computer saying, "Polluted air, do not go outside."
Yeah. There's a can
All
of
right.
smoke.
oh yeah.
All right, guys, thank you for
All right,
joining
guys.
us. Appreciate
Oh,
it.
Rick,
Radar.
are you taking my like?
It's in my
Rhino?
nature. It's in my
Bitch.
nature. I'll give it to you.
Step
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I'll give it
Step
to you.
back. All right. So, everybody, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us for the live. Join us next month. Like I said, we are going back to camp. We're going to be talking 80s slashers, going sleepaway camp, obviously Friday the 13th. We thank you for joining us. From Three Corners of Horror, we are out.
Peace.
Stay. Oh wait. Stay scared.